Hey everybody, this is Mike with Advertising Report Card, and today we are going to be testing OpenAI ChatGPT 4.0, which is the paid version, versus Claude's free version, known as Bonnet, or Bonnet. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right, but either way, we're doing a live test on this right now, and this can work for anybody who has spreadsheets, reports that aren't congruent, and you just need insight from them. What I'm testing for this specific example is a bunch of data from campaigns in Facebook. So a lot of columns, a lot of numbers, definitely a lot of data to process, right? So this is a pretty good test. Now, what am I trying to solve? I'm trying to figure out, based off of the hour of the day across all the campaigns and ads we've ever run, when is the best time to advertise? When do we get the best results? So with that being said, there's a lot of data here, as you can see. What I did is I dumped it into a CSV, and I deleted out any data that had no results at all to map out. And the benefit of that is just having a shorter amount of data for both Claude and ChatGPT's test. I don't want to overpower either of them. I want to give something that's going to show which tool is more insightful and produces a better result. So first, I wanted to go over Claude. I took the CSV and I gave it almost no prompt at all, which is a huge thing. I think that Claude is showing an advantage over ChatGPT. Is all the complicated prompting with ChatGPT. It got to the point to where people were writing like entire documents just to make sure that the response fit all the scenarios that you would want it to fit. It was not always very convenient. You'd have to train the bot. Everyone says train the bot, train the bot. What if the bot's already just logically trained though? So an example here is based on the results column for leads, what time of day, if any, should I increase budget to get more results? So I didn't talk about Facebook. I didn't talk about anything. Basically, it came back with, based on just the results, these are the times of day I got the most leads. And then it made some recommendations. However, so this is when you can increase your budget. However, it is important to look at the cost per result and amount spent to ensure any budget is effective. So what I did is I just copy and pasted, based on cost metrics, exactly what it said back to me. Does it make sense to move budget up or down for these days? So I just wanted to say back to it, based off of your recommendation, does it make sense? I'm not even going into detail about what is sense. I'm just saying, does it make sense? I'm letting Claude compute the logic. Based off of the time it moves the budget up and down, let's look at these cost metrics. Cost per result and amount spent for each time. Then it starts to break down out of these 4 periods of time when the cost makes more sense. It said that these 2 times out of the 4 had a higher cost, and then these 2 times had a lower cost. So it even produced an explanation and a logical recommendation off of just 2 responses to Claude. This is the free version. Claude 3 Opus is the paid version. I believe that it is about the same cost of ChatGPT or less. Let's just look that up real quick. $20. So yeah, I think it's the exact same cost of ChatGPT. So with that being said, let's switch over to ChatGPT. I really think Claude did a fantastic job. Honestly, I would give that like a 10 out of 10. I don't really know what else it could have done with that data without maybe confusing the issue. I could have asked it to dive deeper, but I didn't because it arrived at the answer that I needed in a way that was explained without me having to ask further questions. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize or are starting to is that when it comes to AI, having to fiddle with it or having a less perfect result means you have to mess around with some of the settings or the prompt. What I'm always looking for is a one-shot solution. Can I give it something and get exactly what I intended to get out of it without having to mess with it anymore? So now with ChatGPT's explanation, so it gives me a summary right here. It just repeats back what it understands of the task, which compared to Claude, I think it's like fluff. I think it's a waste of tokens, aka how ChatGPT charges based off of usage, like every letter character is a token per se. With that being said, with these numbers coming right out of the gate without this big chunky explanation, I already like Claude's response better. So now here's the analysis. So it gives me 3 options instead of 4. Claude gave 4. And also it explained it in this really weird paragraph format. Claude knew to break this up by bullets without me even stating so. So it looks like it's wasting characters here while trying to save characters on the actual response itself, which is weird, right? Why wouldn't it try to maximize value instead of just explain what I just asked you back to me like a 4-year-old? I get this might make sense for the first-time user, but this is ChatGPT 4. This is the paid version, right? Not the free version. So based on these findings, it says increase budget during this time slot. So one thing that Claude pointed out is that was the more expensive. Another thing too is that it didn't give any additional recommendations. So now I'm going to just take the additional recommendations from Claude's recommendation and feed it to the paid version of ChatGPT. That's not expected. Okay, so now it's analyzing. Another thing I wanted to say too about the analysis speed is Claude seemed to be a lot faster with the numbers analysis from the sheet. These responses were very rapid, very little time delay. And ChatGPT looks to be 25% done with the analysis that I just entered. Okay, here we go. That loading symbol on ChatGPT seems pretty inconsistent. It's not accurately depicting the actual load speed. So let's see what it came up with. It says the 20-hour mark has the lowest cost per lead. Was it correct? No, it was not. So it was wrong. 8 a.m. has the lowest cost per lead. So ChatGPT just showed that it doesn't do the math. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say much more about this except for the fact that Claude really just absolutely smoked ChatGPT, not only on accuracy of the math, but the actual communication of the logic. This makes me want to move any type of question of spreadsheet analysis or number analysis to Claude. This is just based off of one CSV. I'm going to do some screenshots of different reporting dashboards and see if it has the same result. But just from my perspective, the pathway that it's taking to solve for logic is stronger. It's faster, and Claude Pro can do a whole lot more output. I think it's like 4 times the output of ChatGPT. So, I mean, out of the gate, I'm leaning towards Claude. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Support the channel. I'm going to be putting out a lot more content as time goes on, as I use these tools for things like business and marketing. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, let me know. What do you like more, ChatGPT or Claude? Leave it in the comments.